for some of my students who had problems like with naming compounds and things of that nature.
Yeah, I've done the same. So I take it you teach primarily chemistry?
Yes, I primarily, well, actually, that's all I teach at this school. I teach AP Chemistry and pre-AP. I also teach research and design, which is part of the AP curriculum, actually.
Okay. I'm exactly the same. I have GT and pre-AP chemistry and then AP chemistry.
Okay.
Brenda wears several hats. She teaches like biology, chemistry. There's like 4 or 5 hats that she's wearing. So,
Well, I hate to jumping from biology to chemistry.
oh, I can only imagine. I've done it before, in at one school I was at, and it was a headache. So, how's your AP class going?
Uh, Slowly, only because the past 2 years I did not have an AP chemistry class because counselors forgot to put it on the pre-registration form 2 years ago,
Hmm.
and so students kept telling me, I can't sign up for it, so just sign up for it, and it was never on there. So 2 years ago, I never had an AP class, and I did the same thing last year. So this year, I made sure that it was on the pre-registration form for last year. The point here is that because 2 years out of the loop of AP chemistry, I'm slowly having to regroup all my curriculum and everything.
So,
But
had you taught it in the past?
yes, I did. But everything was put away. So I teaching AP chemistry and regular chemistry are two different animals.
I agree. This is only my second year teaching, and with the redesign this year, I'm worried. My kids haven't even gotten out of stoichiometry. I keep trying to move on, and I've tested them twice now, and they've bombed them both. So I don't know whether I should just, sweep it under the rug and keep going. But stoichiometry is so
Oh no,
important.
not in AP chemistry. You'll not survive AP chemistry
That's what my
without
fear
stoichiometry.
is.
What I did was that when I have them for 2 years. 1 year is pre-AP chemistry, and even though it's like pulling teeth, I still make sure they can do rudimental uh, stoichiometry by the end of the year, and they come out screaming. But when they start my AP chemistry the next year, they're really good at it because everything that we've covered in pre-AP chemistry, I've already covered in my AP chemistry course. With stoichiometry, I told them they had to master by the second week. Right now, we're doing solutions and net ionic equations and uses stoichiometry to figure out the amount of moles of ions in a stoichiometric problem.
See, that's what my next topic is the same. And so maybe I can kind of incorporate some of the stoichiometry back into it like you're doing, but they just haven't mastered it. And I've only, out of my class, I only have 3 that I had last year. And even those 3 are struggling. And I thought last year they had stoichiometry down, but
Yeah, for whatever reason, actually, what I'm finding now is that they're having problems with it because they can't apply math because math class is just worried about getting an answer. No whys, no units, just here's the steps and do it. And that's what I'm trying to find out from the past 7 years I've been here in this school district.
you're, I think you've hit the nail on the head with that.
Because when I started teaching them the math, the first thing they tried doing is like, oh, I want to crisscross multiply. Like, please do not do that.
They can't get down that you multiply across the top and then divide by the bottom. They just
Yeah.
can't. I
So
agree.
that's one of the biggest things is that they're teaching them what's this thing called crisscross multiplying in math, which is if you have three variables, you can easily get the answer without knowing the math. You just plug in some numbers in a specific method and you get an answer. They don't know why, but it works. But when they go beyond three variables, now they're lost, and they never knew why to begin with, which is why I read it out of their minds and their pre-AP chemistry when they first start. They don't like it, but it's just I had to reteach math. It comes down to. I hate to say it, but they're teaching math in a way that I'm getting a connection between you two so for a good video. So I'm going to turn off the video.
Okay.
Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes, is that better?
Yeah, yeah. In any case, one of the biggest problems they're really having is just that the fact that I had to teach math all over again. And I hate to say this, math teachers are teaching them whatever they can get them to pass these standardized tests, regardless of what the concepts are.
behind it.
Yeah, and that's it. I had this one student that came from another school district, and she's in my AP chemistry class, and her pre-AP chemistry teacher gave up by the time they got to electron configuration, which is early on.
I was gonna say that's not even far on.
No, it's early on, and I think she said, according to, he gave up on them because no one could figure out electron configuration, so he basically just gave a bunch of handouts for the rest of the year. We just copy from the book and then just answer really rote stuff. And now she's the only student that's really struggling with stoichiometry. All the other ones are doing fairly okay, but wow, I feel bad for her. Point here is that without that stoichiometry, especially when it comes to the AP test, if you don't know stoichiometry, you can just kiss it goodbye.
And I got the impression from the redesign that they're not really going to ask those stoichiometric problems straightforward anymore. They're going to incorporate it into another problem.
Exactly. So you can't answer the primary problem unless you first do the stoichiometry to get what you're trying to get into.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in any case, I think because of that, I think we both agree what is the major issue in chemistry, and so therefore I think we should go in that direction as far as the game is concerned.
Well, see, and I think last year, coming down to the wire, I may have spent 3 days on nuclear chemistry, and that was it.
Yeah, me too. I was about to say that. Especially even in the end of course exam before they took it out of chemistry, they didn't really talk much about nuclear chemistry other than the fact of the decomposition of it. Okay, if you have this element, what does it decompose into? What other element will it become, and what particle does it decay into? That's all it was, and that can be done. It's almost as easy as balancing out an equation. It's just balancing out.
Yeah.
It really is. And you figure out if you have an alpha or beta particle, and that's about all they ask.
I was going to say, and, we don't even cover nuclear in AP anymore. So they took it completely out of the redesign.
Oh, I didn't know that because I was in the loop last year.
Yeah, they took it out this year completely out of the redesign. That and what is the other one? Colloids and suspensions, that you don't have to test on that anymore.
Yeah, I heard about that one. I was like, wow.
So, well,
Yeah, but I was a TA here at the University of Texas Pan American, and I taught Gen Chem, the labs, and also the physics department. But Gen Chem, again, they won't survive unless they know the stoichiometry.
and see, that's what I'm trying to get across to my AP kids. I think so many of them are worried about the exam, and yes, they should worry about it, but in my opinion, regardless of how you do on the exam, I've still prepared you that much more. Even if you bomb the exam, you now have 1 year under your belt before you get to that Gen Chem class.
Oh yes, definitely. I've had a student that bombed the AP exam but felt very comfortable taking the college course. And as a matter of fact, she said that it seemed very easy because at the level that we teach it and we make sure we master it. I know a lot of professors that told me if anything they get out of chemistry, please make sure if they can't do anything, at least do one thing well: stoichiometry.
Yep, because everything builds on it.
Yeah, everything else is just going to be, it's rote for that matter. You can just memorize it, but the application comes with the stoichiometry.
And see, that's what I'm trying to get across to my AP students is, believe it or not, the concepts in a sense do get easier. It's easier to grasp. Once you have this stoichiometry, everything builds on it. So, I have several that won out of the class because I threw stoichiometry at them first thing and they're panicking.
As did I. I did this. That's the first thing I did. Of course, I worked with them a lot, and I have to say those that did well stayed. The other ones, they just panicked. I lost about maybe 3 students. But the thing is, they didn't. I didn't want them to leave, but in the same sense, I want to make sure everybody else is where they're supposed to be at. I can't stop for one student, not at AP level anyway. I can slow down. I can work with them in the weekends and stuff like that, but I cannot slow down that much. It wouldn't do justice for them.
Okay, I take it you haven't heard anything from Brenda on your end?
I have not.
I haven't either, so
Okay, let's just go ahead and do this. How about that we both decide and we'll see if we can get her into the loop. Let's go ahead and start coming up with some ideas as how we can handle how to teach stoichiometry and the way you're doing it and the way I'm doing it.
okay.
And then we'll go ahead and see if we can ask our Chinese counterpart to design it to what we're going to come up with.
Okay, that works for me. So,
Okay,
all right, we'll talk via email.
very good.
Have a good week.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.